Hi, this is Dr. John Sterling. I'm going to give you a little presentation today on how to make discussion forums more meaningful, bring them to college level performance standards. A lot of students are just simply not accustomed to being challenged in this way, and so I'm going to just talk you through a little bit about what I'm looking for in a good discussion. The discussion forums that are posted in any of my classes require that students do a little bit of research. You've got to be able to understand the question prompts and do a little research and analyze and then apply your information to different facts, different scenarios, so that you can fully understand the question. A lot of students think they know more about a subject than they really do. That information is framed by media sound bites or some, YouTube or Facebook post, and that just simply isn't adequate. I deliberately select these questions, these topics, to challenge you, and so you're going to have to do a little bit of outside information searching, little bit more research. The purpose of the research is to gain general understanding of the subject matter. Treat these discussions like mini research papers. Treat them like you're defending a thesis. I know that's a lot. That's asking a lot for a small assignment, but approach it with that attitude, and we'll have a more harmonious outcome. When you do your research, you find relevant information. Then go out and look for alternative information, contrary information, information that contradicts maybe the bulk of what you've discovered in your initial research. The purpose of that is so that you can find holes or find ways to attack, if I can use that word, another student's position. Again, the purpose is not to be hostile. The purpose is to expand our knowledge and to fully understand the topic so that we can explain it to anybody. When you gather information, you gather facts, try to extract from that operational principles. Try to extract fundamental principles about the topic that you can then apply to different facts, different circumstances. And in that way, you'll be able to have a deeper and fuller understanding of what the subject is. Keep in mind the learning objectives for the module or for the lesson, because each lesson has published learning objectives. So as you're doing your research, as you're doing your discussion, keep in mind, what is it that the professor is trying to get across here? What's the objective that we are expected to learn? So let me give you an example of a discussion question we've had in some classes. Whether Islam is a religion or whether it is more of a political system. And so a lot of people most people just immediately respond, well, of course it's a religion. They have a deity, they worship Allah. Allah is just another name for God. It's the Arabic name for God. But if it's not a religion, then it is not guaranteed the protections, the constitutional protections of other religions. What if it is a religion? What if it is a religion, but it's a religion that attacks or advocates the overthrow of the government of the United States? Can we logically expect that the government must, by law and by principle, protect an ideology that is fundamentally opposed to that government, to that system of laws? If there is something in Islam, if there is something ideologically fundamental to Islam that challenges the notions of individual liberty and republican form of government, then how can it logically be defended as requiring necessary levels of protection that are afforded to other religions by our U.S. Constitution? You will get a lot of insight if you research what the founders of the Republic thought about Islam. They wrote about the dangers of Islam. They full well understood how the ideology of Islam was contrary to the fundamental principles of the Republic. Now, you don't hear that information in mainstream media, but it's out there, and if you do diligent research, you'll discover that there are some exceptions. Now, the reason I use this particular example is because this is a subject that everybody thinks they know something about. This is a subject that even people with degrees, advanced academic degrees, will tell you something that's simply not true. And the way that you learn the truth is you investigate that for yourself. In our context here, in the context of a college level discussion, we're not going to give any credence to opinion or feelings. What we're going to pay attention to, what I'm going to pay attention to when I grade a discussion like this, is did you do your research? Did you follow the instructions? Did you keep your emotions out of it? Did you approach the topic with intellect and rationale and reason? And can you back that up with credible facts from credible sources? So we know that if we do research on this particular subject of whether Islam deserves or protection, or whether the government owes a duty of protection to the ideology of Islam. We're not talking about Muslims, the people. We're talking about Islam, the ideology. Is that ideology protected by our Constitution? And history does not lie, and there's ample information. There are ample facts to back this position up. So a college level discussion seeks to increase the knowledge, to expand our understanding, and so you're not going to earn points if you simply express your opinion. These discussions are not about opinion. These discussions are about facts and conclusions. So I'm a little surprised sometimes at how much pushback I get, because students aren't accustomed to thinking this deeply. They are not, in general, broad statement, students are generally not forced to do critical thinking from early on in their educational process until this point in time in college. So I require that students do this research, do this analysis, form these conclusions, and that should be the subject of your first post. It's a statement, an assertion of what you have deduced from your research. Then your replies, all of these discussion forums online require an original post and at least 2 replies to other students. Those replies need to be engaging. They need to be, it is competitive. I use the word attack. You need to attack other students' points of view. Now, you do this with, of course, with diplomacy and tact and etiquette, but basically you're looking at ideas that are flawed and you're pointing out the flaws of those ideas politely. And you need to do this to at least 2 of your fellow students. Now, you don't have to disagree with other students. I like it better. I think it promotes the discussion atmosphere, the learning process. You can agree with other students, but don't say, "Oh, Samantha, I totally agree. Your post is awesome. Can't wait to read your next post. Good luck in the future." Don't do that. What you can do is say, "Samantha, you made some good points. My own research has validated or verified what you've said. In addition to the evidence you offered, I found the following," and then you provide additional information in support of what Samantha or Charles or Beatrice wrote in their original post. So I like it better when you can find something to pick apart, but if you can't or don't feel comfortable doing that and you simply want to agree or affirm, no problem. Just provide additional information, because the objective is to push the discussion deeper, higher, broader, and expand the learning potential, the learning experience. Now, if you got any questions about this, email me, give me a call. But if you want the maximum grades for a good college level discussion, you're going to have to put forth some effort. And you'll notice that I don't have any maximum word limitations on any of my discussion posts. Most of the time, the thought process required and the analysis and supporting evidence required is so great, you can't do this in 200 words. I have posted for most of my discussions 200 to 300 words minimum. That's a range, a minimum range for the original, and 100 to 200 words for the follow-up replies. These are absolute minimums, and you, most of the time, you cannot get everything said that you need to say in that few number of words. So there is no limit. I just caution you that when you're writing, don't pad your don't make a big essay out of this discussion problem by quoting the full text of your scripture references or the full text of something you've taken off the internet. Just refer to it, and the salient points you can put down, but be short, be precise, be specific. Do in your writing what a sniper does. Precision, accomplish the most with the least amount of energy. Again, if you have any questions, give me a call, give me an email, and we'll talk about it. So best of luck, and I expect to see some good quality work.